Hello children, today we are going to start with our next chapter of standard 5th, chapter 10, Wall Tell Stories. Okay, today we are going to learn about the Golconda Fort, which is in Telangana, the capital of Hyderabad. And this Golconda Fort was ruled by Qutub Shahi Sultans from 1518 to 1687 AD. Okay, this fort is made at a big height. बहुत ही ऊंचाई पे बना गया है. It is made at a big height and there is a big history of the wall of the Golconda fort. It has been protected its people by the attacks of other kingdoms. Okay, now let's start. I am explaining this lesson with the help of the flow chart. Okay, forts. I told you Golconda fort we are going to do today. I am going to explain about the Golconda fort. Okay, you know fort. Fort means किला, महल, ठीक है, and it's a history. History means the past, जो हो गया है, बहुत पुराना है. Okay, and it's very famous also. So first is structure. पहले उसका हम पूरा structure देखेंगे. See, thick walls, round walls on the outside called bastions or burj. Okay, the wall of the Golconda Fall, it's made in such a way. The wall has a round shape. Okay, the Golconda Fort has a round shape and it is called bastions, and in Hindi we say burj. The round shape is called bastions. Okay, and in this bastions there are big holes, बड़े holes है, and so that the soldiers can peep inside the hole. If any enemies are coming, they can see from the hole and they can attack, and they can see in all the direction. The holes are made such a way that they can see from the hole in all the directions. Okay, and see children, this bastion and burj, the outer wall of the bastions, the outer wall of the fort is having 87 bastions. Okay, 87 holes are there in this fort. Okay, now we'll see the many places, garden, fields and factories built within the walls. See children, this map shows so many gardens, fields and factories. We can see this map. Okay, so in that you can see there are so many gardens, fields and factories. See, there are many palaces also inside the fort. So इस किले में बहुत सारे palaces भी थे, along with gardens, fields and factories. That means that not only the Sultan but many other people like farmers and workers must also have been living here. So it means that not only the king but farmers and workers were also living in this fort. It must have been a complete town. So not only the Sultan but workers and farmers were also living there. So all together they were staying in this. It was looking like a big town. Okay, now tunnels. What do you mean by tunnels? Tunnel means surang. Okay, in that time the palaces के the fort they were having tunnels. सुरंग होती थी उसके अंदर से. So tunnels for air circulation, and in this tunnels soldiers stays in this tunnels, and tunnels were made with several arcs or mihrabs. Okay, you know what is arc? Arc means it is something like a shape of a curve shape. You know what is curve? You know, in maths you know the shape of the curve. So arc is like a shape of curve, and it is also called mihrab also. Okay, then king, queens, horses, elephants, they all pass through this tunnel, and the tunnels are very big tunnels. so air circulation was also very nice. हवा भी अच्छे से आती थी. Soldiers were staying in that, because sometime if any enemies come, they can attack there also. And in that tunnels, the echo यानी हम जब बोलते हैं तो नहीं पीछे से फिर से आवाज़ आती है. The echo of the voice were also heard when you pass through these tunnels to this ark. Okay, now gateways. Gateways means gates. You know, have you seen the killa? The gates are very heavy. So the gates of this fort were very large. बहुत बड़े बड़े थे. It was very large and heavy, and it was constructed in such a way that many peoples were needed to open the door and to close the door. One person was not enough to open the door and close the door. Many peoples were needed to open the door and close the door. So what they have done, they made a small gate within a big gate. तो उन लोग ने क्या किया था, the gate was very big and it was very happy, so they had made a small gate also inside, means within the, यानी कि बड़े गेट के अंदर ही they have made a small gate also, so that was easy to open and close. Anybody can come from that small gate only. If big animals या यहाँ बड़े बड़े कुछ आते थे राजा महाराजा, that time they were opening that big gates. Okay, had sharp iron spokes. Okay, आपने उस जमाने के, अगर you have seen the doors, so the door, the fort, the wall of the fort, the wall of the door was having a thick iron this sharp iron spoke. आपने देखा होगा अणी वाले होते हैं. Okay, why it is made? So that it was impossible for elephant or any person to open the gate. Okay, so the gate itself is having a iron sharp spokes. Okay, and it was very heavy also. I told you before, the gates were very heavy. They were not able to open and close also, so they made a small gates. Okay, then several gate placed before the main gates of the fort. Okay, now there were, I told you before also, तो main gate के आगे भी there were many gates. Not a single gate was there. Many gates were there in front of the main gate, so that people, if there are so many people, they can come from this gate, that gate, like this. Many gates were there in front of the main gate. Terraces had gateways for security, and on the terrace of the fort, there also they were having the gates for the security. The security guards were also there on the terraces, and they take care of the terrace also. If sometime any enemy they attack, so there were security guards on the terrace, and they see from there also. If any person is coming, they can see from the terrace also. So terraces had gateways. On terraces also there were gates. Okay, for the security. Okay, design. Okay, now we see the design of the Sultan's palace. The Sultan's palace was having a 2-floor building, and it was having a very big halls and room. If you must have gone to any fort, आप कभी गए हो कोई जगह पे, okay, you must have seen. ठीक है, आपने फोर्ट देखा होगा, सुल्तान का पैलेस you must have seen. So in that time the rooms and halls were very big, and in that big room and halls there were a beautiful carvings. Carvings यानी small designs. Okay, उस ज़माने में the workers जो होते थे मजूर, वो लोग इतनी अच्छी carvings करते थे. They were making so nice designs on the wall. So the wall of the rooms and halls were having a beautiful carvings, beautiful design, which was made by chisels and hammers. Okay, now fountains on roof and big tanks to keep palace cool. What do you mean by fountains? fountains you must be knowing when you go in the garden or any place फुवारा होता है, that is called fountains. Okay, so there were a big tanks and fountains within the fort, and several fountains were made on the terraces also. In that time on the terraces, सुल्तान के पैलेस में fountains were there on the terraces also, and whole day means every time there was a water in that tank and it keep the place very cool, क्योंकि terrace पे भी अगर पानी होगा तो it will make the palace very cool. And you know children, you must have you seen the fountains in the house? आपने कभी सोचा है कि fountains must be in the houses also? But in Sultan's palace, the fountain was not only in the outside the house, but the fountain was also inside the house also, inside the palace also. Okay, and you know from where this water was coming? This water comes from a reservoir. Okay, small holes in the bastions to help see things far away. I told you bastion. What is a bastion? It's a hole. Okay, a wall come out, round wall come out from the bastions, a hole. So small holes in the bastions to help see things far away. So this was able to see a small thing. The bastions, जब वो holes में से देखते थे, they were able to see any enemy or any person. They can see, they can peep from the hole, and a very far distance they can see. They can see the person or anyone from a very far distance. Okay, soldiers were staying there, especially they were keeping an eye. They were vigilant also. They were always having a security. Okay, if any person is coming, who is coming, any enemy is coming or what, they were always very vigilant. They were just having a look on that. From the hole they were able to see a far distance. One person can see a far distance also. And small holes on the wall for air circulation. So there were small holes also. अगर holes नहीं होंगे तो हवा कैसे आएगी? So small holes on walls. There were small holes on the wall means के in that time the rooms of the palace were very big and the roof were at a big height. It was at a big height. आपने देखा होगा कि बारी होती है ऊपर रूम के ऊपर, जाली जैसी होती है, आपने देखा है? Like this होती है and जाली होती है. It means in that time there were no fans. Okay, so from where this air will come? So this big वो जाली लगी हुई होती थी रूम के ऊपर, so that they can maintain the temperature. And the it was used for the ventilator, यानी कि हवा उजास के लिए हवा उसमें से आराम से आ सकती थी. So there were small holes on walls of the rooms and halls also for air circulation. Okay, now let me explain the map of the Golconda fort. Okay children, now let me explain you the Golconda fort. See here what it is written, tell and write. Look carefully at the map of Golconda. Can you see this map? This is the map of Golconda fort. On the map, arrow shows all the 4 directions. Can you see these directions? North, south, east and west. You know the sun rises in the east. Okay. See children, the upward direction will be the north, the downward direction will be the south, and whenever you are standing, so every time the east will be to your right hand side and to your left will be the west direction. Okay. Now let's do the question answers. See, if you are peeping means जब हम झांक रहे हैं, inside from Botli Darwaza, in which direction from you is Katora Hoj? See here, this is Botli Darwaja. Can you see this Botli Darwaja? If you are peeping, okay, अगर आप झांक रहे हो from this Botli Darwaja, तो कौन से direction में कटोरा हौज है? It is in north direction. Okay, from Botli Darwaza to Katora Hoj is in north direction. If someone is entering from Banjara Darwaja, see this is a Banjara Darwaja and it is in north direction. So if someone is entering from Banjara Darwaja, in which direction from her is Katora Hoj? अगर कोई बंजारा दरवाजा से एंटर हो रहा है तो इन विच डायरेक्शन विल बी दिस कटोरा हॉज? इट विल बी इन द साउथ डायरेक्शन. इन विच डायरेक्शन विल यू वॉक फ्रॉम बाला हिजर टू रिच मोती महल? अगर आप बाला हिजर से वॉक कर रहे हो, दिस इज बाला हिजर. इफ यू आर वॉकिंग बाय बाला हिजर तो ऑन विच डायरेक्शन विल बी द मोती महल? सो इट विल बी इन द ईस्ट डायरेक्शन. ओके, नाउ how many gates can you see on the outer wall of the fort? Can you see the gates? How many gates are there? Let's see. See, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 gates. And count. How many palaces are there in the fort? Now let's see how many palaces there are in the fort. So see, this is 1 Moti Mahal 1, then this is Mahal Taramati is 2 and Shahi Mahal is number 3. So there are 3 palaces in the fort. Okay, what arrangements for water can you see inside the fort? ठीक है, कौन सा अरेंजमेंट, what arrangements are there for water in the fort? For example, wells, tanks and step wells, they are there. But what other arrangements are there? So you know Baoli. Baoli is a step well. In step well, we store the rain water. So let's see how many Baoli are there. See, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So there are 5 Baolis and 2 Hoj. It's 1 and 1 and 2. There are 2 Hoj. Okay. Now on the map, see, 1 centimeter is equal to a distance of 110 meters. See scale. 1 centimeter when you आप जब करते हो, ठीक है, मीटर माप करते हो, ठीक है सर. So 1 centimeter is 110 meter on the ground. Now tell, okay. See on the map the distance between Bala Hizar and Fateh Darwaza is dash centimeter. See, this is Bala Hizar and this is Fateh Darwaza. So if 1 centimeter is 110 meters, so what will be the distance of Bala Hizar to Fateh Darwaza? Okay, so for that you have to use the scale. So it will be 8 centimeter. Okay, from here to here, if you will see, it will be 8 centimeter. Okay, then the distance between the two would be dash meters. Okay, if 1 centimeter is 110 meters, so what will be the distance of 2? It will be 880 meters. Okay. How far is Makai Darwaza from Fateh Darwaza? That you have to search. Okay, can you see this here? Can you see the symbols? Okay, so these symbols you can see on each and every map. These symbols will help you to search the things. Whatever is shown here, it will be very easy for you to see on the map, and it is called the legends also. Okay children, I hope you must have understood the map. Now see the security. Okay, pits around the main walls of the fort. Pits means big खाई, यानी बड़ी बड़ी खाई बनाई गई थी along the fort. So there were deep pits, okay, along the wall of the fort. Big बड़ी बड़ी खाई बनाई गई थी. So the people from the fort, they were able to come out with the help of the pole, and by chance if enemy comes to attack the fort, they were not able to enter the fort. Why? Because there was a big ditch, pits were there, so they were not able to enter the fort and they were not able to attack also the fort. See children, do you know children, in that time there were big kingdoms were they want to rule the small kingdom. So what they were doing? They were doing friendship with them, flirtery they were doing. Even they do the marriages or through war. They want to cover the big small kingdoms. So they were doing friendship, उनसे साथ friendship करके उनको cheat करते थे, flirt करते थे उनके साथ, marriages करके they want the small kingdoms. In that time Aurangzeb, he came to attack this fort, okay, but he was not able to enter the fort. So what he did, he stayed out of the fort for 8 months, but he was not able to enter the fort, okay, because there was a deep pits along the walls of the fort, so he was not able to enter. Even he stayed for 8 months outside the fort, and he was having a huge army. He fought also with them, but then also he was not able to enter, and many soldiers were died also. So like this they were doing, and he has to go back. He went back. Okay, now guns and cannons. You all must be knowing guns. Why guns are used? Gun is used to defend against criminals. And cannons बड़ी बड़ी तोप होती थी. Okay, so cannons are big guns that are placed on wheels. You must have seen that cannons. See in the picture also you can see. These were used to fire at the enemy at a distance. If enemy attacks on the fort, so this cannon was, ये तोप बड़ी बड़ी, it was used to attack on the enemy. Now places made on walls for fort for security guards to be placed. See, there on the walls there were some places. See, holes were there, okay, but along with that holes, suppose if there is a hole, 2 holes are there, okay, if there are 2 holes, bastions, okay, if there are 2 holes, so between these 2 holes there was a wall, so that the security guard can able to stand there. Okay, so places made on walls of forts for security guard to be placed. So like this, if another hole is there, so here the security guards were standing. Okay, now see water management. In that time, how they were managing the water? Clay pits in walls of the fort, special wells and tanks for water storage, a mechanism of wheels and pots attached, bullocks used to pull water from wells. See children, arrangements of water. Here the picture shown here is made after seeing a very old painting of those time. Can you think why bullocks have been used here? Use your hand movement to show in which direction the drum attached to the rod moves when the bullocks move. In which direction would the tooth will move? So 500 years ago, there was no electricity. Water was lifted with the help of bullocks and wheels. Bullocks were attached to a tooth wheel, which in turn was joined to another wheel with a number of pots on it. You can see in the picture also. When the bullocks move in a circle, the pots move and lift water from the well. This water was then transferred to the tanks. From there, it was carried to different places through the clay pipes in the wall of the fort. So, I hope children you must have understood the lesson, the fort of Golconda Fort. Understood? Thank you.